This is the agenda. We'll go into artificial intelligence introduction, AI revolution, and unstructured data, the tech stack for AI chatbots, and the future of AI. So, there are a lot of artificial intelligence definitions out there, but this is one of my favorites. It says that artificial intelligence is the ability of a machine to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings, which means that something that a human could do, now a machine can do because you have given it that ability to dig in and find the right answers that it needs to. This slide is very interesting. It shows that artificial intelligence isn't something new, right? It started when IBM developed this computer and it fought against Gary Kasparov in 1997 against him for this chess game. And this computer played moves which were so amazing and never seen by any anyone or never played by anyone, and that's why Gary Kasparov couldn't defeat it. Then there were games which were developed, and these games had its own way of learning and fine tuning itself to be able to win all the points and get whatever it wants to win the whole game. There were social media and Netflix and all had recommendations based on what you're watching. It was going to recommend you, okay, this is what you can watch next. This is good for you. This content is something you like or not like. That's like artificial intelligence has been around us for a while. And then came ChatGPT and it just took everyone away within 5 days. Like you can see the graph over here, there are these different applications and it's showing like within how many days did it hit that 1 million user mark. And you can see ChatGPT did it within 5 days, which is insane. When it did that, before that, Instagram did it in 2.5 months, the 1 million mark. And then also there was Thread, which came in, and within 1 hour, it was hitting 1 million users. And within 2 hours, I think it did hit 2 million. But today, we are not interested in Threads. It is definitely an interesting applications for people who have used it, but ChatGPT has its own different use case, which is not just a social media tool. Like all these others, most of it you can see are more for social media, entertainment purposes. But ChatGPT is very much used by everyone. May it be a researcher, may it be someone who's working in a corporate job to make your jobs or lives easier, you're going to use this application. Next, we'll dig deeper into AI revolution and unstructured data. Why did this whole AI revolution come into picture? Because 90% of your data is unstructured, which means it is in the format of text, images, audio, video, and you want to make sense out of this data because data is important. Any data you give someone, there is a way to make analysis, predict future, and come up with some better solution that you cannot if you don't have that data or you can't analyze it. So traditional database struggle to process this unstructured data, and that's where generative AI comes into picture. It goes in, finds the whole scenario or what is happening in your data, gives you the result, and extracts value for you. What is generative AI? Generative AI is AI models that generate text, images, or insights. The examples are GPT-4, Llama, Cloud. Why is it powerful? Because it's human like. The responses and summarizations are amazing that you, even if a human had to dig into so much like unstructured data and bring it, was going to be harder. So, someone who can do this for you without any manual intervention is amazing. Understanding your unstructured data, there is a lot of unstructured data out there, and all these things that you see on the screen, videos, images, audio, text fall under it. The types are also varied, like email, chat logs, clinical notes, pathology reports. All of them fall under unstructured data. And if you want to make sense of it, you can. So, why is it hard to process? No predefined schema or structure. That is why it is hard. Because if there was a proper table and you had like your columns into it, you could write a simple select statement or write like a procedure and do the whole data science or Python analysis on it and predict what the data was bringing you. But with this, it becomes difficult because there is no structure. How Gen AI processes it is it has the natural language processing for text understanding. It has summarization and document classification. It has conversational AI for chatbots feature, and then it has RAG and vectors and chunk. So what this whole slide means, the Gen AI has those specific capabilities, like it has those necessary functions which can summarize your whole essays, big long paragraphs and pages of essays into something small. It has that conversational ability. So if you ask it a question and ask it a counter question on the first question, it remembers the first question and gives you the answer or the context of the answer accordingly. There is RAG. RAG is a very amazing feature wherein your data, unstructured data, is divided into chunks and it is given that specific unique identifier for it to be able to identify it later on. So overall, all these things make reduce the administrative burden, enhance data-driven decision making for you, and that's how generative AI processes your unstructured data. The role of Gen AI is twofold. The traditional one was very predefined, no learning, and limited, whereas AI powered chatbot is context aware. It is very much self improving via data and highly conversational. The tech stack, this is my short and sweet, I would say, like architecture diagram that you can see, wherein your whole flow of the chatbot experience you can see over here. So the first thing, it starts with a question. This question gets the embedding. Embedding is a specific unique identifier for your question based on what question you're asking. This embedding is then going and searching in your vector data. And this vector data again is stored into embedding. So, like I was mentioning, your data, the RAG, it chunks your whatever files and all you have into specific embeddings and stores it into vector database. And whenever a match is found between this embedding and this embedding, that relevant chunk is returned. And there is some engineering done to make it look beautiful and then returned to the end user. So that's the tech stack. You need a large language model, you need an embedding database. There is some vector search functions you need to apply to be able to search, and then the framework, which is more of the UI piece. You can do it a Streamlit app or something. So you can combine the both UI and the backend to it. Here is an example of a chatbot that I built myself. So what I did was I had this whole stage wherein I had different PDFs in it. One of them was my resume, and I wanted to ask question on my resume. So that's what I did. And the chunk, I did the function for that. I created like a whole vector database, stored my chunks into it, and also called this function to get the relevant chunk. Then did a get chat history function. Summarize questions with history was used to remember the context of the previous questions. Complete function and prompt function was used to make the answer more better. So these are the couple of functions and the whole script and the UI piece of it for the chatbot. So building chatbot step by step, definitely we saw the whole flow and how chatbot can be built, but there is a little bit of pre-processing and fine-tuning piece to it as well, right? Like you cannot just build it and that's about it. The pre-processing comes with data ingestion. So you definitely have to collect like all types of data from different sources, bring it in a proper stage location, do some data processing and transformation on it, because there is definitely going to be some special characters which are going to throw your Python script away. So make sure you remove those special characters and then build a model on top of it. For that model, you'll need like an LLM RAG. There'll be some fine tuning and testing you'll have to do, because once you build it, the first 3 to 6 months is training period wherein there are questions being asked by different users. It's still trying to understand what is the question and context and trying to make sense out of your data for you. And then finally, you'll deploy and monitor and give it to like the specific end users that you want to. The case studies for industry applications are unlimited. There is no limit where you can use chatbots, right from customer support, patient Q&A, contract analysis, policy bots. There are like finance bots available too for fraud detection and all. So any industry, if you have those unstructured data and you want to make sense out of it, it is possible with your chatbot. Next steps to adopt Gen AI. I would say if you are trying to build an application, definitely start slow, start with the crawl phase, wherein you're bringing all your applications data, you're storing it in a stage, trying to do the cleansing on it, running some scripts to do the chunking and vectoring of your database and all that. So that's like the first crawl phase for you. Then comes the walk phase, wherein you're building the whole decision engine and you're deciding, okay, if what are the key parameters which you would want to track or which the users are going to ask questions on. How are you going to understand, okay, if this is answered, it's a good answer versus if this is answered, it's a bad answer. Those decision engines is the next phase. And then finally, you're going to deploy it and put it out there for everyone to use and see how the changes happen. Also, there are a lot of features wherein the user can give feedback. There are like plus, thumbs up, and thumbs down features that you see in different chatbots out there. You can incorporate those so that your model understand, okay, this was a negative answer, and next time it makes sure what are the positive answers and brings you answers based on that rather than giving you the negative ones or the wrong ones. The future of AI chatbots, we are definitely in the tip of AI chatbots, and there is so much more. There are multimodal chatbots, which is voice and text related chatbots combined. There is autonomous AI agents. So here you can see there was weekend trip booking. I asked the GPT for it, went in the high camp website, brought in the best deal for me based on what dates I'd given it, and then told me this is like the best deal. It has 95% rating. Would you like to book it? And if I say book it, it's going to go ahead and book it for me. So that's what an agentic AI would do. It will, you just have to type your questions in your chatbot. It's going to go in the specific website, bring the answer for you, and you're good to go then. There are AI powered workflows. So a lot of manual processes are going to be replaced by AI. So right from your data engineering step, ingestion, or the whole like data cloud framework, building the whole raw gold and silver layer, the scripts will do it for you without any manual intervention. So those like startup ideas are out there already and people are working on it and building it. And then there is going to be a lot of AI governance and safety measures that are going to be built out there. So even like companies who are very unsure about the usage of AI can securely use AI under the whole governance and framework and stuff. Next is we'll see what will the future be. So I'm going to leave you guys with this final slide, which is showing two different perspectives. One is a human from the Wall-E movie, which had nothing to do and grew weaker and weaker over time. Versus, on the other hand, there is this whole new phase of discovery that we did with the AI revolution, and we built amazing products and amazing solutions. So it's in our hands. Are we gonna be this side or that side? And I feel like use AI and chatbots to your best use so that you can do something which has not yet been discovered and discover amazing things. Thank you.